All right, is everybody ready? All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Starting with number 35. Number 35 is the line that passes through the point -1, 3, and is parallel to the line 3x minus y equals 4. All right? So what we're going to do is, we're going to first change this to slope-intercept form. All right? So if I do that, that line becomes 3x minus 4 equals y. I know that that line is parallel to the line that goes through here. So what do I know about parallel lines? Everybody.
They're same slope.
Same slope. So I'm going to use this guy right here. All right? So let's plug it into our equation. Y equals mx plus b. I'm going to substitute 3 for the slope. I'm going to substitute the x and the y coordinate and solve for b. All right? If we do that, 3 equals -3 plus b, b equals 6. Now I have the slope and the y-intercept of this line. All right? Rewrite the equation. Y equals 3x plus 6. Now, they wanted you to put all of these equations in standard form. So I'm going to change this so that I have x and y on the same side. I'm basically going to flip-flop these two, and it's going to be -6 equals 3x minus y. Equation of the line in standard form. Okay? Number 36. The line that is parallel to that equation and contains the point -4, 0. All right? First thing, I'm going to change this to slope-intercept form. X plus 7 equals 2y. Got the y on the other side. Divide everything by 2. 1/2 x plus 7 over 2 equals y. What do I know about parallel lines again, everybody?
Same slope.
Same slope. So I'm going to use that guy right there. From that equation, think of it as stealing. I'm stealing the slope from this equation to go with this guy. All right? So again, y equals mx plus b. Substitute my m, and substitute my x and my y. 0 equals 1/2 of -4 plus b. I've substituted the point, used the slope, because the slope I know is going to be 1/2. Half of -4 is -2. Solve for b, b equals 2. Write my equation first in slope-intercept form. Y equals 1/2 x plus 2. Convert y-intercept form or slope-intercept form into standard form. Standard form, I need coefficients that are all integers. So therefore, I'm going to change this by multiplying everything by 2 to get rid of that denominator of 2. 2y equals x plus 4. Move my variables around. X minus 2y on the right. -4 equals x minus 2y. Does anybody have any questions on how I got that? All right? This symbol here, just for those of you that are going to watch this, I have a point, and this means parallel to this equation. I'm reading out of the text, page 373, the homework. All right? Number 37. Number 37 says the line that passes through the point -4, -5, and has the same y-intercept as that equation there. I used B for y-intercept. First, I'm going to change this into slope-intercept form. 3y equals -x minus 9. Algebraically manipulate the equation, solve for y. Divide by 3 everywhere. Y equals -1/3 x minus 3. Right? Next, I know that my B is -3, or my y-intercept. The line that I'm trying to find goes through that point, or that y-intercept, and contains this point. All right? So, same as I've done before. Y equals mx plus b. But now, when I substitute, I'm going to substitute my b as -3. I'm still going to use my point. All right? But I'm going to solve for m now. I'm going to solve for m. So m is my unknown. I'm just going to solve that equation for m now. -4m minus 3 equals -5. Add 3 on both sides. I get -2 equals -4m. Divide by -4. Negative divided by negative is positive. 1/2 equals m. The slope is 1/2. Now, how can I check that? Well, if I have the y-intercept, I know that this equation and the equation that I'm trying to find will have the same y-intercept. That point is 0, -3. And they gave me a point, -4, -5. Do the change in y and the change in x. The change in y. How much does y change by? 2. Actually, -2. How much does x change by? -4. Check it out. That equals 1/2. Same thing. Does everyone see how I checked it? So now that I have the slope and I have the same y-intercept, because they both have the same y-intercept, -3, I'm going to rewrite my equation as y equals 1/2 x. Use the slope, which was -3, or use the y-intercept, which is -3. All right, and that is the equation of my line in slope-intercept form. All right? Want to change that to standard form? Who thinks they know what I need to multiply by? 2. I'm going to multiply by 2 everywhere to clear the fraction. Remember, I need integers. Final answer, standard form. Multiply by 2, 2y equals x minus 6. Move my y and my constant, flip-flop these guys. I'm going to get 6 equals x minus 2y. Standard form right there. And again, just remember that it doesn't matter. In your book, you may see that the equal sign is over here. It could be that equal to 6 also. That's the same thing. The left and the right are just changed around. Questions? Number 38. Now for number 38, it says the line that contains 7, 1, P0, and 0P, for when P cannot be 0. So the one thing that I do know, I know that P this guy cannot be 0. Cannot happen. All right, so this is a recognition problem. All right, how do I find slope? How do I find slope?
Rise over run.
Rise over run, or the difference is in the changes. How about the change of y over the change in x? Yes? All right? So take a look here. Interesting. If I take the change in y, what's 0 minus p? What's 0 minus p? So, and what's p minus 0? P. Does everybody understand how I got that? That's a little different now. That's recognition. Now that I have negative p over p, what does that reduce to? What does that simplify to?
Negative p.
Disagree.
Negative 1.
-1. He caught himself. See that? P over P cancels. The slope is -1. They made you think that this problem was going to be very difficult, and it's actually not. If you recognize that from the beginning that you're going to get the variable over the variable and it'll cancel. So the slope here is -1. So they wanted the equation of the line. You now have the slope. So I can rewrite this as y equals mx plus b. I have the slope, m. I have plenty of points. I'll use this point because it's the one that has both constants. I don't have a variable. I don't want to plug in another variable for x. So I'm going to plug in 7. I'm going to find the y-intercept by using that point and the slope that I've already found. 1 equals -7 plus b. Add 7 on both sides, you get 8 equals b. I now have the slope. I have the y-intercept. I can put this in slope-intercept form. Y equals -x plus 8. I'm not going to write -1x. It's understood. I need to change this to standard form, and all that is here is moving this guy over here. X plus y equals 8 is my final answer in standard form. How many of you got that one on your own? That was difficult because you had to recognize that I can still find the slope, and it just so happens here that these variables are going to go away. All right? Little tricky. Next one. 39. 39 says, can the equation of a line go through the point 25 and 2,8 be written in slope-intercept form? Why or why not? Well, the first thing, if it's going to be in slope-intercept form, I should be able to find a slope. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the change in y, everybody?
3.
3. What's the change in x?
0.
What's 3 divided by 0? Raise your hand. Undefined or no solution. So I got an issue. What do I know about this line? What do I know about this line? It's a vertical line. And what do I know about vertical lines? Vertical lines have an undefined slope. Vertical lines are not in slope-intercept form because they don't have a slope. And in this case, because this vertical line does not lie on the y-axis, it does not have a y-intercept. So therefore, no, you cannot write this in standard form. And someone tell me for part B, what is the equation of this line? What is the equation of this line? x equals 2. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, how did he get 2? Right? How did he get 2 for part B? Part A would be no, obviously. We'll just prove that. Well, think about the vertical line. That vertical line in the coordinate plane must go through these 2 points. These 2 points are at 2, 8, 2, 8, and 2, 5. The x-intercept is going to be 2. It's going to be 2 in every spot, isn't it? It's going to be 2 in every spot. All right? It's 2 in every spot. Equation of that vertical line is x equals 2. Okay? Any questions there? Number 40. The horizontal line that intersects a vertical line at -3, 7. Okay? Now, the best way to understand this problem, right, is to look at this on a graph. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. So if you would, very quickly, just sketch or look at something that you have that has a coordinate plane on it. I'm going to grab mine off of my board here. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to graph the point -3, 7. -3, 7 is right here. Does everybody agree with that? That point? Yes. All right, so now a horizontal line intersects that point. So I'm going to put my horizontal line in green. And a vertical line intersects that guy also. Does everybody see the picture?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then they ask, well, what's the equation of the 2 lines? Well, the equation of the green line is a horizontal. So it would be y equals 7 at the y coordinate. And the equation of the vertical line is going to be x equals -3 at the x coordinate. And that's it. How many of you got that one on your own? All right? Again, that's a problem where you just have to think about what they've given you. And if you thought about a coordinate plane and where that point lies in space, draw the 2 lines. Now, by looking at horizontal and vertical lines, we should be able to come up with the equation. All right? Y equals the constant, or the y coordinate. X equals the constant, or the x coordinate. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 41. A line that passes through these 3 points. All right, so one thing that's not given to me up here is the slope. Can I find the slope with the information given?
Yeah.
Sure, sure. Let's do that. The change in y is 2. The change in x is 4. The slope will equal 1/2. Does everyone see that? All right. Two ways to look at this. We could put this guy on a graph again. We could graph my 2 points, negative 2, 3. And the other point, 2, 5. And then we could track over using the slope. Right 1, right, or up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. Continue on, draw the line. They were looking for an x value of 6, so therefore I could look at my graph where 6 is and come up here, and I'm at 7. So the y coordinate is 7. That's one way to do this, by using the graph. Another way would be to use the table. And if I already know that negative 2, 3 is an answer, and 2, 5 is an answer, and I can see a pattern here of a change of 1/2, where the y changes by 1, 6, 7, 8, all right? And the x-coordinate changes by 2, 4, 6. I know now that it's 6, 7, using the table. Does everyone see that? So I use the graph to find the answer of 6, 7, or k being 7, or I could use the table. All right? Last one. A line with an x-intercept of negative 4 and passes through the point 2, 6 and point P 10. Find P. All right? Well, they've given me 1 point, a second point which I don't know the x-coordinate, but they actually gave me another point. What are the coordinates of the x-intercept here? What are the coordinates?
Negative 4, 0.
Negative 4, 0. That's my other point. So again, I can find the slope by the change in y, which is 6, the change in x, which is 6. The slope is 1. So again, the same idea. I could look at the graph and find out where P10 is. Or I can again use the table. We'll use the table in this case. I'm going to use my 2 points that they gave me, negative 4, 0 and 2, 6. I know that the change in y over the change in x is going to be 1 over 1. So I know my table is basically going to go 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm looking for the y coordinate of 10. So I'm just going to increase if my y is increased by 1, this is a change of 1. This guy's a change of 1. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 10. P equals 6. Any questions on how I found 6 using the table? All right.